So for those of you who are starting out, who are really just at the very beginning here, then I want to give you what I wish I knew. And believe it or not, we're actually running this as a little experiment inside of Skool right now, and the results are astounding. I'm not going to share the stats yet, but they're really, really good. We took the rule of 100 for warm outreach, and we've actually kind of like broken it down into something, a 3-step process that's really tactical. They're calling it the rule of 300. And if you don't know what the rule of 100 is, which I talk about in my $100 million leads book, it's the fundamental process of applying 100 repetitions to any of these things. So 100 warm outreaches means you reach out to people who know you. Mind you, it doesn't have to be your homies. Like you probably have 300 friends on Facebook and 500 followers on Instagram or whatever, all 300 people inside of your cell phone. Like those are all the people you know. You reach out one-on-one to 100 plus cold prospects, people who don't know you. You spend 100 minutes making content, and then you post that content. To be clear, you don't just spend 100 minutes making content and do nothing. You post it. And then finally, you can spend $100 a day on ads at minimum. All right, that's how you get started. Now, obviously, you can spend more on ads, but you should spend at least 100 minutes making the ads, researching, looking at hooks, recording, etc. But if you do that every single day, you will get customers because you will let people know that you exist. Now, the rule of 300, it's really just taking the rule of 100 for warm outreach and breaking it down into 3 steps. So I'll break down all 3 for you right now. So number 1 is you post content. Just make a post. All right, one piece on one platform. Very simple. All right, you don't need to overcomplicate this. After you make the post, you do 100 comments. All right, this is really big. Now, the comments, my recommendation is you do it inside of a group or a community. Now, the reason that we do it inside of a group is that 1, it's going to be a pool of all of your ideal customers. And the goal of the comments is to make the best comment. All right, so if you look at all the comments that are on someone, when you make it as a comment inside of a group, there's 2 benefits that you might not have thought of. 1 is that inside of a group, you're not competing against everyone. You're now just competing against everyone inside the group. Secondarily, you're not competing against everyone even inside the group. You're competing against everyone in the comments. And so it makes you look like you're super good, even though you're just this much better because you actually took a minute to make a comment rather than just like cool stuff or awesome, right? That's not going to do it. You have to put out a thoughtful response to each post. Now, the posts that you do, you should just use them as prompts. So it should be a lot easier for you to come up with comments than to come up with content. All right, so that's the 2nd step. Now, the 3rd step is that we now basically apply the rule of 100 to our new warm list. You're like, what's the new warm list? So this is it's like lukewarm. It's like right between cold and warm. And so what it is everyone who liked your post, anyone who commented on your post, and anyone who liked any of your comments, now this is gonna be a pretty big one, or replied to your comment. All right, so that basically gives you 4 different sources to find the leads that you do your one-on-one outreach. So this should hopefully solve the big, like, who do I reach out? These people. And the reason we did this, and this is key, the reason that we go after these 4 people is because these 4 categories have all done one thing which changes them from strangers. They have taken an action. They've indicated interest. And so the point of advertising, which I define in the leads book, is to go from an unengaged lead, which is just a person you can contact, to an engaged lead, which is a person you can contact who has shown interest in the stuff that you sell, or at least has shown interest in you. With that, this sounds really minor, but it's huge. You can then begin the conversation by saying, hey, saw you, liked my content, what about it drew you in? Or like, what made you do that? Or, oh, that was so cool of you, whatever. Hey, I saw you commented, or thanks for that comment, and question, right? Don't just say thanks for the comment. That's not going to start a conversation. You ask a question. What made you do that? Are you looking to get in shape, clean your house, get organized, whatever the thing your content was about? Hey, I saw that you liked my comment. Are you looking to? Right? And so anybody who's following the type of content that you're commenting on, by the way, comment on, like if you're selling dog stuff, comment on dog stuff. Don't comment on, crypto make money stuff and try and find dog people. Now, then again, who knows? But if I'm gonna pick where I'm gonna make my comments, I'm gonna target posts that already have the types of people that I wanna sell to commenting and posting on it. All right. And then finally, people who reply to your comment are gonna probably be some of the warmest leads because they've already read the thing, took the time they already basically messaged you in a way by replying to your comment. So this, if you think about this, is like, we only need 100. If you make a post and you get 25 likes, it's like, boom, there's my first 25 reach outs. Then I've got people who commented. Maybe I've got 3 or 4 comments. Okay, there's another 3 or 4. Then I make my 100, remember here? So let's link these up. So these 2 go to this, and then these 2 go to this one. Let's see if I can cross the chasm here. there. So if you then do 100 comments, you're going to at least get 100 likes or responses. Because if you actually take that much time, the person who you made the post on will likely take the time to like your comment because they want to encourage other people to leave long, thoughtful comments like that. This is one-on-one lead gen for you not having any audience. So it's gone. Like, you have no more excuse. This works. And the results that we're getting are fucking awesome, which I'm really stoked about. I'll share the stats later. We're doing it as a big experiment. And there's one more reason that I think this is really sexy. Comments on a big post will get way more reach than your initial content, especially if you're starting from zero, because you basically get to piggyback on the reach that other people's content gets. And so it's in a weird way, it's almost like you running mini ads. Now, to be clear, you want to have thoughtful comments. You don't want to say like, buy my shit. Like, that will, one, probably get you blocked by the person whose content it is, but also you look like a shithead, so don't do that. So you want to have a thoughtful response, and this will take time. To be clear, like, well, how many hours a day will this take? And notice I mentioned hours a day. It'll probably take you 2 to 4 hours to do this every day. But objective number one when you're starting out is let people know you exist, because no one does. There are a lot of different businesses that you can potentially start. The reason that I think for beginners, starting an online service business is the easiest one to start is because it costs the least amount of money and it has a lot of good economics around it, meaning it costs almost nothing to deliver. There's low recurring overhead. You can do it from any place in the world. If you're watching this video, you already have all the technology required. And so, like, basically everything is there for you to start, and you get to learn all of the mistakes that you're going to inevitably learn on a low stakes business first. Hey, and I want to write you a check real quick, and not just any kind of check, but one that you can actually take to the bank. And this is about starting a Skool community. The reason that I decided to become a co-owner and made a massive investment in Skool, the platform, is because for 4 years I was looking for what is the easiest business online that I can help people get started, because I have a massive amount of my audience are business owners that do 1, 5, 10, 100 million plus a year, and that's who watches my stuff. And I have a lot of deeper content for really tactical stuff once you're at 20 employees, 50 employees, 100 employees, 250 employees. But if you're just starting out, then it's like, yeah, that stuff's amazing, but what do I do today? And so I want to give you this check, because this check is what the average Skool community that's paid and monetized on the platform makes in recurring revenue per month. And so, no, this is not a bazillion-dollar check. This is not gonna get you to be the richest person in your neighborhood, but it can help get you started. And so the tactics that I outlined earlier about the rule of 300, we're doing this right now for people inside of Skool, and it's murdering. And so I recommend that you start, because the coolest part of this whole thing is that you can start absolutely free. And so if that sounds at all interesting, I take a call every single Monday. You can go there, skool.com/games. I'm sure there's some link somewhere. Just let me know that you're new. I hop on, I answer questions. We walk through basically what we saw after studying thousands of communities that are paid and doing well. And we just try to reverse engineer and boil it down to, like, what are the actions they took? And so the instructions are very much like, do this X times per day. Do this Y times per week. And if you just follow the instructions, you will get an exceptional result.